and I keep getting different results. Okay, so close set eyes again. Okay, so let's look up celebrities with close set eyes and then try our makeup that way. Okay, so according to this, I did the thing 6 times and I got 3 different answers. Okay, but two of the times I got the close eye thing, which I don't think my eyes are terribly close, but we're gonna go with it. So the main point of doing close eye makeup is to make your eyes look like they're further apart, a little bit wider to suit your face. I don't think mine are too close, but we're gonna go with it anyway. So the first thing they're kind of talking about is with your eyebrows. As I said, you know, your eyebrows are like, don't over pluck them because you don't want them to look ridiculous, but they're like, this should be kind of where your eyebrows start. This is what it says in this article that I'm reading anyway. And then they say to make your eyes seem wider is extend your arch out a little bit further than it naturally does when you're doing your eyebrows, and that will naturally elongate that area of your face. So that is what I'm going to do first. Okay, so this one I'm just going to use my pencil, and I'm going to just fill in a little bit in the front here just to make it seem better. And then I'm going to go out a little bit further than my eyes naturally would in that arch and see if that makes a difference. So this one has the arch added in a little bit further out than this one. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Okay, then like every makeup thing, they are like put a primer on, and we're going to use 3 tones of eyeshadow. And I feel like this is just a basic. I think most are like this, but they are definitely, start from the darker and you work your way in. They also suggest that I do the concealer and all that under the eye and that first, so I'm going to do that as well. So I don't use tons. I usually do this afterwards because that helps kind of clean up my lines, but we'll do it first and see how it goes. Okay. I will highlight later though. Okay. Now there's some debate. Of course, like always, you're going to start with your darkest on the outside and kind of go in maybe about a third, and then you want a medium one, and then of course you want your lightest to go on the inside. Now I've heard different things. Some people say start with the lightest and work your way out, and I've heard some people say start with your darkest and work your way into the lightest. I don't think it matters as long as you're blending it, but we're gonna go from the lightest and work our way out. Scratch that, we're gonna go from darkest to lightest just because anyway, so I'm gonna go with the just neutral tones. So I've got a very dark kind of brown, and I'm just going to put it on the outer part of my eye. And as we know, I cannot see in, so, and they said just below the crease. Now of course, hooded eyes are a whole different story, right? Then, because the hooded eyes, you tend to lose a lot of what you can see there. And my eyes hood a little bit, but they are not too bad. Okay, so just on this little outside. Okay, and this is why I like to do the concealer afterwards, so I can get rid of all that stuff. Okay, and then a medium one. I'm gonna go up a brush size, and the medium one in the center, and then a light in the very center, and then blend them. So I'm gonna go about halfway. So I had used this really dark one. That's the outside. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna actually use a blend of these two because it should be fairly light, just kind of in the middle section here where it comes in. And then the lightest kind of colors here on the inside. Now they also, I tend to go up above crease. They also say that a shimmer or reflective powder there will also help widen the eyes. So with my finger, after I've blended everything as best as I can, I'm going to go and put a shimmer on. So right now I'm just going to take a moment and just blend the heck out of all this. So what they do is suggest is a very light kind of a white, pinky, or a gold is another good one that wants a little bit of shimmer just on there. So that's what I'm going to do. And just a little bit of gold with my fingers. It's very sparkly in real life. It is. I'm going to extend it to the inside because that really brings it out. Okay, there we go. All right, and then moving on to the eyeliner. They suggest that you need to apply it to both your top and your bottom lips from the outer eye corner midway, only halfway, to your iris. And wings or cat eyes will also help extend it out if you like. All right, and they also suggest is using blue or any other color that's going to make your eyes pop. I think I have blue. Hold on. I didn't have blue, but I did have green. And then they suggest taking a lighter color and doing the inside of the eye again with the idea that this would be paler because this does seem like a very abrupt kind of stop-start. So I do have another green, and it is a little bit lighter than the green I've already got on my eyes. So if I do that on the inner half, in my eyes, so it doesn't seem like such an abrupt, helps blend it a little bit. Doesn't seem like such an abrupt transition. All right, that's kind of pretty. I need to get me some blue. Okay, so we have that. And depending on your eye color, that's what you're doing. It says avoid lining your inner eye with dark because that's just gonna make things fall. And then a mascara or individual false eyelashes is because you really want to emphasize the outside and not the inside. So when you're putting it on, maybe put an extra coat here, or if you have falsies, just wear falsies on the outer part of your eye, not the inner part. So I'm going to use this end for my top lash because it makes it a lot fuller. And then I'm going to switch. Oh, all you're seeing is the back of my mirror, sorry. Then I'm going to switch. This one's kind of cool. It's got both sides. I'm going to switch to the other one and do the bottom and outer lash again to make them longer. Okay, I'm just going to make my lips all shiny. Alright, so that is makeup for closed eyes. I'm not mad at it, but I think it's general makeup that most of us use. Tomorrow I will try the one, another one of the eye shapes that it gave me and see how that one goes. Or even later on today, we'll see. Tell me what you think.